I want to talk to you about why physical and mental stamina is a competitive advantage in business, and why founders don't need more mindset, but they actually need more capacity. And when we actually bridge this gap between the physical and the mental, we're going to be expanding so much more capacity, so much more resilience, so much more ability to feel totally grounded and present no matter what uncertainty comes your way. And as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, the thing that creates the most stress is uncertainty. So how do you navigate building your capacity so that no matter what comes your way, we know that uncertainty is always going to be ever present, that you can continue to show up in your power, in your center, feeling still clear on the actions that you get to take to move things forward in a way that feels really aligned with you, and to stop outsourcing all the answers to all these other people who may be leading you down a different direction to what you actually desire deep down. So let's be real. Most founders, most entrepreneurs, most high achieving women are not failing from lack of talent. They have that in bucket loads, but they're crashing because their nervous system is not able to actually hold that level, that new level, or hold that capacity of whatever it's presenting in their reality. And it's like they can't hold that pressure. And so hustle can be glorified, but really underneath it, it's very easy to ignore the toll that hustle culture actually takes on us, whether that's mental, physical, or emotional. And so building a business is an endurance sport. It's about being in it for the long game. And if you want to be it in the long game, in the long haul, then really nailing the physical and mental stamina is going to be your biggest advantage in business. So that's what I want to talk to you today. I want to talk to you first around why mindset on its own is not enough. And again, mindset tools can be powerful. It's not about ignoring the mind or disconnecting from the mind, but it's only really powerful if your body actually feels safe to act on whatever clarity comes through. And another thing I want to just a little caveat I want to put in there is understanding where your thoughts are actually coming from. So are your thoughts actually anchored in truth, clarity towards creating what it is that you want to create? Or are your thoughts centered in lack, fear, and trying to stay in control or in the known? Because the latter, it doesn't matter if you act on it, it's still not going to lead you to the place that you want to be. So first, really having awareness around your mindset currently. What is your internal dialogue like? Are you speaking life into yourself, or are you tearing yourself down? Are your thoughts really clear and feel like they are really guiding you in the direction from a higher perspective? Or do you feel like the internal voice or thoughts are actually coming from a place of fear or lack? And doing this audit without judgment is really key, because it's not about making it wrong, but it's simply about having the awareness to notice, okay, where is my current mindset at? Because it is going to be playing a part in your ability to expand your capacity. The other reason why mindset tools is not enough is we can't talk about mindset without talking about nervous system dysregulation. And nervous system dysregulation, very high level, is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And this can show up as procrastination or feeling overwhelmed or being in overdrive the whole time, where you feel like you're constantly on alert, or where you find yourself burying your head in the sand and avoiding the thing that is ever present in your business. All of those responses are rooted from a nervous system dysregulation. So understand, what are the patterns that are playing out? Is it procrastination? Is it perfectionism? Is it feeling like you're constantly in overdrive? Is it feeling overwhelmed and like exhausted the whole time, where you actually know what to do, but you are frustrated with yourself because you're still not doing it? All of that is rooted and resolved in the nervous system. And the truth is, you can know all of the strategy that you need to be doing in your business, but still not following it because your body is stuck in survival. And this is something that I see a lot play out, where the woman that I'm working with, she knows exactly what to do. She knows the strategy. And if she really tunes in and taps in, she knows her own unique strategy. What I mean by that is, it's not just about being given a strategy by some business coach and following that through. If that strategy does not actually align with that woman's values, then it's always going to feel off. It doesn't matter what the success is on the other side, because it's always going to feel disconnected from what it is that she values. So when a woman is really tuned in and tapped in, she can actually create her own strategy. Now, if she's created her own strategy and she's still not following it, then there is something to look at there in terms of what are the blocks in the nervous system that is creating this response or this freeze state when there is clarity there, but there's just inconsistent action. So you don't actually need more discipline. This isn't about being super hyper disciplined. It's actually about becoming really regulated in yourself, understanding when it's time to move with the clarity that you know what moves you need to make in order to lead you and create what it is that you want to create in a way that feels really in alignment with who you are and your own unique values around your business that you're creating. That's super, super important. Otherwise, it creates this disconnect, and it doesn't matter what success you create from that. It's never really going to feel like success because it's going to feel off. It's not going to feel in alignment. So I want to talk about the 4 different types of stamina that every founder needs. And these may seem really obvious, but I'm going to speak to them anyway. We need to have physical stamina. So I'm talking about your physical body. This relates to strength training, like building that muscle. Building muscle is so important on so many levels. We talked about brain function. We talk about energy. We talk about that capacity to build that physical resilience. We talk about health, right? When you feel healthy, when you feel clear, you show up differently. You feel clear in your thoughts. We know there is this dynamic where the mind-body connection is one. We're talking about sleep. Sleep is so important. Resting. So many high-achieving women feel really guilty or really uncomfortable with stillness or rest. But this is so important when we're talking about increasing stamina for your business, for life. Nutrition. What are you actually fueling yourself with? And are you eating things irregularly or that are spiking your blood sugar or that are creating this exhaustion and tiredness when it gets to 3 p.m.? What are you doing? Notice every time you eat, how does your body respond to it, right? What is the response from your body when you're eating something? Start to take note. It's really, really important because your body is unique. Yes, there are certain foundational pillars, but ultimately, you know what feels good within your body. Hydration, really simple, but so many women I start to work with, they're barely drinking any water, and then they're wondering why they feel really unclear, overwhelmed, and unable to focus. This is your battery life. This is like foundation number 1. Right? Let's get this in order to build your stamina. Level 2 would be emotional stamina. So how or what is your ability like currently to hold discomfort without collapsing? This is key for leadership because You being in leadership is going to require you to have challenging conversations. It's going to require you to speak truth. It's going to require you to create boundaries. It's going to require you to navigate conflict. So, what is your current ability to hold discomfort without collapsing? And just be honest, just notice. There are ways to really support you in navigating this. And a lot of the time, it is about leaning in and taking those small steps. And it is about getting to know yourself, because when you're clear on who you are and what you value and what you stand for, you understand what is a clear yes for you and what is a clear no when someone's crossed a boundary, and how to actually circumnavigate those situations. Then we've got mental stamina, because it is important as well to have this facet. This is about clarity. It's about focus. It's about decision making. How quick are you able to make decisions and continue to move? Or do you find yourself ruminating and overthinking and overcomplicating and slowing the process down because you find it hard to make a decision? How are you with actually making decisions under pressure, without room for feeling foggy or fatigued? And so that's really important. That decision-making muscle is a muscle, and you can create a really powerful muscle when it comes to making decisions, it being okay if it's not perfect, trusting in that clarity and continuing to move forward. And then nervous system stamina. Right? The capacity to actually stay present during high stress situations without burning out, without numbing out, without disassociating and disconnecting or avoiding even the situation. This is really key. The way that you're able to navigate high stake moments is going to come down to how you're able to regulate your nervous system in those high stress response situations. As a leader, again, this is really, really, really important. And you can learn that and you can embody that version of yourself, so that it doesn't matter what comes your way, you know you're clear, you trust that you're able to navigate it, and you're going to show up with a different energy when you know that you've got the capacity and the stamina to hold big things in business and in life as well, because it's not just about business. So let's go to the flip side. Let's talk to what drains stamina, what leaks that stamina. Things like chronic stress can feel really draining. And this can be from constantly overgiving and under receiving, or when you feel like you're, maybe even with the way that you've set up your price structure or your investment piece, it doesn't actually reflect the amount that you're actually putting in. And so it's this feeling like you're constantly overgiving, and there's not this sense of reciprocity that feels actually in alignment with you. But there may be some blocks, mindset wise, nervous system wise, around actually feeling safe to receive or claiming your worth. Can also be poor blood sugar, which sounds so simple, but honestly, this regulating of your blood sugar is really, really, really key, because when it's not regulated, you can experience mood swings, you can feel really extra sensitive with your emotions, and ultimately you can experience just energy crashes. And this is where it can typically be around 3 p.m, but it can be any time as well. And when you are a woman and you're navigating your cycle, understanding where you're at in your cycle, understanding how to regulate your blood sugar is really, really, really key, right? And then lack of movement, because movement does so much for you. And this can also be on the other side, where maybe you're actually overtraining without recovery. So it goes both ways with the movement. I always highly recommend having a strong foundation of strength training. And then if you want to do Pilates or yoga, that's like a bonus, right? That's cherry on top. When we're talking about stamina, we're talking about strength training. Simple. And then the other thing that can really leak energy is emotional suppression. Now, we've spent a lot of time speaking about this, and I've shared my story around how emotional suppression affected my stamina, my physical body, right? This is really key. And this when we suppress our emotions, that can lead to nervous system overwhelm ultimately, where the nervous system then really starts to get activated. So understanding how to process emotions. I've got a full PDF that you can send me a DM and I can send you for free around how to actually process emotions. It's called Emotional Alchemy. The other thing is so simple, but it's things like skipping meals, being inconsistent with what you're actually fueling your body with. It can also look like shallow sleep or not actually giving yourself enough rest and feeling like you're never slowing down, right? If you feel guilty about resting and you're constantly on and you're just like wired the whole time, wired but tired, this is going to drain your stamina over time. So I want to really speak into that, because on the flip side, when we talk about like building the stamina, we're really going into these 5 or 6 things, which I've spoken about. Nutrition for energy, really important. Body rituals, such as anchors and reminding your body that you are safe and that you can be present. Strategic rest, understanding, looking at your schedule and planning out strategic rest. You'll be so surprised how restorative a little 20-minute rest can do with your focus and your energy and your clarity for the rest of the day. So it doesn't have to be always about the deep sleep. There are ways that you can strategically place in rest through your day to really support you when you've got longer extended days and you can't navigate that because that's the season that you're in. Boundaries, really powerful for helping with building stamina. Really important as well for the larger that you grow, that you have really strong, clear boundaries. Resistance training 101 needs to happen, like literally builds capacity and brain health. So it's really important. And then nervous system regulation, which I speak on a lot, somatic tools, breath work, co-regulation, all of those things. So I really want you to hear that your vision is never too big. It's never too big. Your container just needs more capacity in order to step into that and to hold that without burning out. So take care of your body and really nurture yourself and take care of your business, right? Those things come hand in hand. And this isn't soft. It is literally strategy for long-term success in your business. Sending you so much love. Send me a DM if you would like that Emotional Alchemy PDF. I'll send it through to you. You can DM me on IG at simonewhiteman.co and I'll send that straight through to you. Wishing you the most beautiful night, and I will be here tomorrow evening. Speak soon.